Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Hidden Name Tournament. We have 4 top StarCraft players. You don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. They don't know who each other are. We've given them Brood War Pro Gamers names. We've got Bisu vs Flash here in our first match as I pan to the side accidentally because my cord is tangled on up. And this is going to be an absolute banger. It's a best of 5 4-player tournament, and the players are going to be trying to guess who the other players are for bonus prize money. Does each player know who they themselves are, says Twitch chat. Twitch chat coming in with the 300 IQ questions as normal. We're going to go back to just talking about the games and ignoring Twitch chat because they're dumb. Down here in the bottom left side, we've got Bisu, our Protoss player. And up here in the top right, we've got Flash, our Terran player. 2 of the greatest players of all time. Now, when we get to the Zerg match, we will have a fun little story about Blizzard's absolutely draconic censorship and why we don't have Jaedong in this tournament. Because apparently that's a naughty word. Wouldn't let me name an account Jaedong because I'm imagining dong is a bad word, guys. Dong, really? Anyways, this is going to be a TVP. I'm curious to find out who the players are. I do not know who they are. You guys can feel free to play along with me. And I would really encourage everyone, if you're going to make a guess, try to lock it in the comments before you get to the end of the video. Obviously, we're doing that on an honor system. But at the end of each series, we're going to have the winner try and guess who the loser of the match is since they're eliminated for that $50 bonus prize money. There's also a whole bunch of prize money. There's a lot of prize money we're giving away for winning the actual tournament as well. So each semi-final, there will be a chance for the player to guess the loser. And then when the winner wins the tournament, all other 3 players that have been eliminated will get a chance to try and guess who the winner was for $50 each. And of course, that's going to be a lot of fun to see exactly how the players do, how much money they can win. And also, you know, can we figure it out? Because some players have very distinctive styles. Now, I'm not going to show control groups. You're like, Pig, show control groups. Nope. Gives too much away for the hardcore nerds. I'm resisting pressing Control-Shift-G, which is the hotkey to bring that up on this overlay. And you deal with it, nerds.
Game.
Oh, okay. Well, that gives it away. Obviously, the Terran player is Tiny Bladder player, because they need to go and do a PP. For those who don't know, when someone needs to do a PP in StarCraft, the official way to ask for that is to do 2 capital Ps for PP. And it basically says, I'll just run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Obviously, we'd rather you do that rather than wet yourself. But it does feel like, oh, but that was very quick, which means they must have had a raid bottle next to them. For those who don't know, a raid bottle is if you're a World of Warcraft player, then basically that's an empty bottle you keep next to you. So in the middle of the raid, you don't let down your guild, and you can relieve yourself very quickly. Apparently, Flash is a dual World of Warcraft and StarCraft player. Down here in the bottom left side, we've got Bisu chrono boosting out an Adept. No units lost on either side. And the command center did get blocked for a second, so not too bad. Reaper having a little bit of a dancey dance here, and it's going to go into the main, but the Adept's out. You don't want to dive in there. Ooh. I love that those probes weren't even mining, guys. Bisu didn't want to interrupt the mining on the other patches and wanted to just bring them down, but doesn't want to expose them to risk. Reaper does not manage to see the Twilight Council. Interesting. Factory is finishing up in the main. Looks like we will go straight into a starport. I think we've got a Raven opening, my friends. This looks like a very standard TVP opening and a very standard PVT opening. Are these players playing the secret game? Guys, are they playing the secretive game rather than trying to play like the trickiest strategies? Because this doesn't give anything. It's like, oh, really? You're doing a Blink opening with an Adept, a Stalker, a second gate, and let me guess, a Robo's going to come down after that? Like wild guesses coming out from me. Meanwhile, the Terran player is... Oh, there is a Cyclone. I mean, not everyone builds a Cyclone, so you could argue that is a bit special. Oh, Reaper gets a probe. And, oh, Reaper sticking up the middle finger behind himself says, see, you don't want to be a dickhead. Adept not able to catch that either. Cyclone and Marines are now coming out. Viking on the way as well. Flash thinks they're up against a Stargate build. That's odd because they saw a Stalker. If you saw 2 Adepts, I'd be more down for the Viking. I mean, you could still do a Marine Cyclone Viking push versus Stalker opening. And you can also land the Viking in the main for harassment, but a really good pylon there, ready to spot for that sort of move. Siege tank on the way. Oh me, oh my. This is a very committed, aggressive play for the Terran because building all of these units nonstop means you really slow down extra barracks. You don't have anything like a Raven or a Medevac to do any sort of early pressure. And that is a quick third Nexus after the Robo. Third gas goes down as well. Bisu doesn't have any map vision right now, and the Observer's only just started. And this Siege Tank... Actually, no, we do have a Tech Lab come out after that. Oh, this is a not great opening for the Terran, I would argue, in this scenario. But on the other hand, if you're confident in your macro, I've said this about Cure like 1,000 times over the years, like where Cure would do this like really just safe generic opening. I'd be like, there's no scary attack the Protoss has to worry about. And then he just kills them with his 3-racks push at like 8.5, 9 minutes anyway. And I'm like, this is like a really late 3-racks. And he's like, yeah, but I macroed really well, so I win. And I'd be like, okay. Now, obviously not saying that this is Cure. I don't know who this is, but yeah, just kind of interesting. Forge does come down for Bisu as well. So this is going to be Zealot Stalker style. Ooh, okay. Zealot Stalker style. At least there's a Forge, so it's not the most all-in style. But this is a style which can, it can do a big attack. It can really blow up the Terran player. And with such a late stim and shields, there's always the chance to just kill them. But usually this aims to get the Terran when they move out to take a third. And on this map especially, I've seen this style where Hero uses it a lot. And he uses it as a base trade style. He waits for the Terran to move out with their push. And then he runs in from the north of the map and starts doing big damage. Stalkers blink in. They manage to grab an SCV and a depot. Gets a few hits on the Raven. Very conservative Stalker play here from Bisu. Oh, that one Stalker didn't actually break vision. And the Observer goes down. So that's a victory for Flash. Flash is feeling pretty good about that. We've got so many gateways up now. 8 gateways and a Robo. And a Warp Prism's on the way as well. 54 probes for the Protoss. So about 54, 56 is where you get full 3-base saturation on 2 gas. Because there's a third gas. Looks like we'll be going up to about 56, 57. Immortals coming out as well. 3 sentries are out. If you can get a whole lot of energy, 3 sentries and 2 Immortals creates a really nice PvT kind of like ranged army that can split the Terran up. And Terran really playing very defensive. We're going to see a third command center going up right there. Viking tries to come in for the land on the third sentries, and the Stalkers say no. No, 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 you naughty, you naughty. And Bisu's going to be going up the north of the map. We've got the Warp Prism heading on up there. Raven is in the main. And I would imagine fourth and fifth barracks is next. Now, this is this new thing, guys. People always pull the SCVs from the natural to the main to build their production lately. All the pro Terrans do it so that they don't undersaturate their main. I actually don't think it's good. And I'll talk about that later if we get a chance. For now, the Stalkers are getting pushed back. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Okay. The Stalkers haven't really been dying, which is good. Zealots in the main. Warp Prism comes in. Oh, no. Oh man, there's not much damage out here for the Terran. That Widowmine could do more friendly fire than otherwise. The Stalkers picked off the Raven. They just picked off the Raven, guys. And the Widowmine just killed so many SCVs. Traitor. A traitor to the cause. The Stalkers blink forward and take out a siege tank. Pretty good force fields if we can get a battery overcharge, but the sentries go down with no healing coming out. Does look like there's enough to defend though. I don't know if you can chase though. That's the one thing, is Bisu did lose their Immortal and some of the sentries, but with Zealots coming forward, it looks like Flash is getting annihilated here. Flash playing too much random in the last few Star Leagues, and of course having now to get overwhelmed. Flash is going to run home tail between their legs. 23 SCVs going down. That Widowmine, guys, I will absolutely go back to that Widowmine shot and look at that at the end of this game. But I think this is basically the end of this game, because Bisu is looking large. They're looking in charge. And Bisu says, I still got that magic. Takes game 1 versus Flash. All right, a rather controlling game 1 for Bisu in the top left side. But going on to Babylon, a bit of a better map for Terran. They'll have to watch out. This Terran player is going for an interesting strategy. Looks like they were just checking maybe for a proxy gate. Interesting. Or is this... Oh, it's an engineering bay block. That's a very late engineering bay block. I don't think that gets there in time, does it? Or does it get there just before the Nexus is about to go down? Oh. Oh, this is a strategically delayed eBay block for Flash. Flash comes in. Genius. No one checks for the eBay block, because that normally starts 10 to 15 seconds earlier than this so they can get maximum build time. But Flash has studied Protoss players and says, you know what? They always check the low ground, then go back to build the cyber core, and then come back to the low ground. And that is so annoying for Bisu. Bisu. Oh, no. Bisu has to take the third base. Now, how do you do it? Some people like to go Blink. Some people like to play Stargate from here. But that is an awkward third base to defend. That is really rough. behind this. Factory goes up there. We've got the Marine on the high ground as well. Second Marine as well. So Flash is going to try to build 3 Marines, I think, to... Do you have 3 Marines? I think this is 3 Marines to kill the first Adept. Which I always like if you get the Adept, and if you don't kill the Adept, I always feel like, oh, that was a big delay on the reactor. 2 Marines. Okay, interesting. 2 Marines. I guess you don't have the gas anyway to build the reactor, so you might as well. And then we're going to see a high ground command center. This SCV is running back and forwards. Flash is like, where do I build the command center? Ooh. I like that position. It's out of vision of the ramp, which is nice. And Stargate does go down, so Bisu is going to say, well, I need mobility. I need air control. The downside, though, is because your third is sticking out like a sore thumb, even though the Stargate will give you scouting, pushes are going to arrive and have a high ground above your natural nexus, which is ridiculous. Are players playing their main races? Says chat. Well, I mean, I'm not giving you guys any information. I'm not going to help you. You all have to guess. Are these main races? They off races? They're pros. You all know who they are if you follow StarCraft very well. I'm not going to give you any more info than that. What can I say? If Dot wants to leak anything in the chat, you guys are going to have to beg Dot, my lovely wife, who's adminning today and helping run things. She also helps set things up, which is part of why I am purposefully making sure I don't talk to the players. So even though I have a pretty good idea of like guessing probably who they could be, I don't actually know who they are, and I'm purposefully not thinking about it. I'm like, ugh! I'll try and guess purely based off what I see in the game a little bit here and there. But for the most part, I'm going to let you guys guess on your own, not influence it to make the game a little bit more fun for the casters, the other players, and everyone else. 3 racks coming up behind this, but it's 3 racks with early siege tanks. So this push is is one of the classic coffee specials, guys. Used to do this on Blackburn. You guys might wonder, why do I reference Coffee so much, a relatively unknown Chinese pro gamer in this matchup? Guys, Coffee is the god of innovating TVP builds. It's funny because I'm probably going to, next time I interview Oliveira, find out that actually Oliveira made the builds and Coffee got them off him. But I keep giving Coffee the credit, even though he's the lower ranked Terran. But Coffee, I remember used to always do this push where it's like a no medevac Marine Marauder tank push. And it's so hard to stop because it hits like a brick. And it's especially good if you block their natural and force them to take a weird third. You can even build bunkers with it. The downside is every stim is unhealable. Usually you'll push with about 3 siege tanks and a big pack of Marine Marauder. But if you stim and then don't get a good fight, and then you stim again, your units are all like 2/3 dead. Phoenix is on the way, Robo's on the way. We've got the natural not up just yet. Third base there, probing on up. Adept's coming forwards. Plenty of Marines. Watch out, Bisu. Flash is going to come down and smash, smish, smash, mosh. Oh, good scout, good scout, good scout. Adept just saw 2 siege tanks. Guys, let's go to Bisu's camera. Bisu, Chronos and Immortal, has got 4 Phoenix out. Phoenix picking up tanks seems kind of good, right? Problem, guys, Phoenix are not what you want against that much bio. And the Immortals, yes, they'll counter the tanks. They can't shoot them when they're lifted. They'll deal with the Marauders okay, but it feels like basically Bisu's saying, I've got to defend with just Phoenix, Immortals, and Gateway units. Which is okay. You could technically do it, especially with the help of shield batteries, but I'd like Bisu to get another shield battery over here so they can kind of fight there and then retreat to this other battery if needed. I'd also like to see the Phoenix, the moment this army moves out, look for some pickups. An Immortal's out, another Immortal's on the way. Robo Bay is coming down as well, so if this push is delayed long enough, they can go for Colossus, but Bisu's gonna lose an Adept. Sees the push move out though, and I really want to see the Phoenix flank this and try to pick up a bunch of these Marines. And SCVs are coming, as I said, yeah, bunker builders, maybe repairing on the siege tank as well. There's no starport, there's no engineering bay. It's a 2 gas timing from Terran, and the Protoss has a very crappy third base. No sentries there either. The Phoenix come in, but they already take a little bit of damage. They're going to try and fight front on. Bisu's going to show some technical front on defensive skill. I like the battery, but it's not quite ready. Immortal does get hit on the Cyclone, which is nice. The army pulling back. Okay, so Bisu's going to play this slow. Bisu isn't going to try to break out. Oh, great catch there by Flash. Flash realizes where the weakness is, grabs an Immortal, and I think Bisu's in big doo-doo right now, guys. Bisu's in the doo-doo. Oh, no. Whoa, gonna pick up some of these Marines and try to go for it. It's a good Phoenix count, man. There's not that many Marines. The Adepts are pretty decent at tanking the siege tank shots. The Immortal's getting a few hits off, but oh, damn, the Phoenix are out of energy. They're getting overwhelmed, and that was a absolutely mint push from Flash. Well played. Ties up the series 1-1. Oh, right, all right. We've got game number 3 now on altitude. We gave the players a quick minute there for a bathroom break. Let's be real, I was the one that needed to go to the bathroom, but hey, they got a short break to think about their strategies. Bisu's in the bottom left of altitude. And the top right, it's Flash. Okay, problem, guys. Problem. Last map was a Terran map. Right? So first map was a Protoss map, big map, Ancient Cistern. Map 3, another Protoss map, big map in altitude. That means if you didn't veto Cistern or altitude, what did the Terran player veto? Because I wasn't paying attention when they were vetoing. There's another map that I'm not thinking of. Let me know in the chat. Oh, what are the other maps that a Terran player might veto? Altitude is one of these maps which is really bad for Terran against Protoss and Zerg, unless they get a good opening, and then once they start multi-pronging, the spread on the bases really favors Terran multi-prong. You can Doom Drop everywhere, right? You can Doom Drop all over the shop. You can really pick apart. And what I've seen on this map so far has been most Protoss players play Phoenix Colossus here in Katowice. And I think it is a very immobile style that sucks at covering spread out bases. And therefore it sucks on this map, because look how far away the third base and fourth base options are. If you play Phoenix Colossus, I don't think you can ever get a third. So, Bisu, I'm hoping you're a little bit smarter than all the players were at the World Championship when that map pool was brand new. Let's see what style. I think the Zealot Stalker style from game 1 would work very well here. I do think it would. On the other hand, for Flash, I mean, you can still do like Siege Tank all-ins, but I would want to go very light on Siege Tanks and rush up to 3 barracks would be the favored way to play on this map if I was in the Terran shoes. Of course, this is my opinion as a massive noob compared to these players, of course. Any pro gamer is infinitely better than my Terran, Protoss, or Zerg. That Adept's going to come out. Can it block the Twilight Scout? Stargate Scout, I should say. No, it cannot. Reaper should get out of there. We'll take one more hit from the Adept Shade, but no, good usage of the Nexus to kind of block that Shade. Very nicely done. Very, very nicely done. And people in chat saying, oh, why don't we have a poll to see who wins? That's a great idea. If one of the mods is nice enough to set up a poll for those watching live, that'd be great. Not too late to guess now. It is tied up 1-1. Things haven't been decided. But we'll try to get those for the future series as well, if we get a chance to. For now, Reaper's coming back in. One Adept at home, one Adept on the other side of the map. The bunker's finished, and it has 2 Marines in it. And the Reaper's going to jump up in towards that main base. Adept gets a hit off, but the Reaper could do some damage. Adept gets blocked here. The Marines are going to need to unload. The Marines are in range of that Adept. Careful with the Adept. Meanwhile, the Reaper's got 1 kill. We'll keep the Reaper selected. Adept gets 1 kill. Oh god, these Marines are not unloading right now. The Reaper only got 1 kill. And even though the Reaper looks like it's going to get out, it stops to hit a pylon right now. Reaper does escape there just barely. The Adept, though, managed to get 2 SCVs and gets away. Ooh-wee. Reaper actually could trap that, so I like that it goes and tracks to the right side, trying to escape. Oracle's coming out. Second Oracle as well. Bisu's going hard on the Oracle pressure. But dude, Flash is so safe. Game 1, Flash went Oracle. A Cyclone, sorry, to counter the Oracle. Game 2, Flash went no Oracle, right? That was just Marines and tanks. But this game, a Cyclone comes out one more time. That's a very good way to counter this. The thing is, third command center is super greedy. And if you see this as Bisu, that's a very important scout. Third Nexus goes down. And personally, I would be tempted to do a big charge zealot timing. Basically, when the third base gets taken, with any 3cc build, Terran usually takes the third just a little before Stim and Shields is done. And they can die. Oh, dives on the Cyclone. Uh-oh. Bisu right now says lasers and goes in there and takes out a whole bunch of drilly boys, getting rid of the Cyclone. There's a few Marines on the natural. You don't want to fight that. You don't want to lose the Oracles. Oh no, get out of there, Bisu. But Bisu tanks with the weak Oracle, gets a bunch of Marines there and realizes, oh, I'm out of energy. Has to get out. 1 Oracle in the back there. And the 3 barracks is now starting Stim and those upgrades, but behind it, Robo, extra gateways, 4 gas. This is going to be Colossus and Blink and +1 all at the same time. Bisu says, dude, you got a third CC. Such a greedy build. Flash, you're stuck turtling. Flash says, I'm the best macro player of all time. It's fine. I'll turtle to like 10 minutes. I don't want to fight you till then anyway. But I always feel like there is nothing scarier than a Protoss player who knows their opponent is being greedy. If you know your opponent's sitting back and you've got a few minutes to just build tech, look at that production. It's all, no army units. It's all just, tech, probes, economy tech. Now, Flash is moving out with limited vision, which is very risky because Flash only saw the third base and not much else. So, like I said, this is a window where if the Protoss went for a big Zealot timing, Terran almost always moves out before these upgrades are finished to take their third. But wisely, Flash is keeping the Marines back for now, moving them to the low ground as I say that. But look at that, good scout. Sees 4 gas, sees all the tech. So Flash knows that they are able to secure the 3rd base right now, and that Bisu does not have an aggressive timing. So the thing is, if you saw no gas on the natural as Terran there, you'd be like, oh god, and you wouldn't drop mules here. You'd probably lift the command center back to the high ground, and you'd wait another minute until all your upgrades are done, your medevacs are ready, and then you'd very slowly move your army out to take a 3rd. Oracle still being alive is fantastic. I'd love to see some stasis traps. I always feel like keeping Oracles alive to spam stasis traps all game is one of the most underutilized ways of taking advantage. And there is a warp prism going down that right side of the map. Here comes an army. Pushing out immediately. Wow. And the Colossus only just started. Charge is not done yet. There's not that many units right now. This is not a big army for Terran, but it's one of those things where you're both being so greedy. Even a handful of Marines, Marauders, Medevacs becomes a frightening force, potentially. Observer over the 3rd sees that is full. Protoss is up about 13 workers right now. And Warp Prism is there as well. Oracles on the right side. They're going to come in. Ooh, Oracle thinking of pulling back. Got to be careful there. Nice tag. Good reaction. Bisu's still so quick, guys. After 20 years of being a Brood War pro gamer, Bisu, you'd think he'd be a bit more geriatric, but he just comes in and is like, no, I'm still quick on the trigger. Zealot drop does come in. They get a single SCV, but really nice pullbacks from Flash. Marauder will go down. And those Widow Mines, looks like Flash learnt their lesson from game 1. Those SCVs won't be doing the friendly boom booms this time around. Warp Prism saves every Zealot, though. Good disruption, good mining time loss for the opponent. And Blink is coming in now after charge, as well as a 2nd Colossus. Now, looks like a 4th base wants to get saturated. I always say that the most important thing for a Protoss player in PvT, if you're playing a macro game, is getting the 4th minerals open. Why? Because your main base is starting to lose mineral patches. Notice one of them's already disappeared. These other mineral patches are all sub 100 now as well. So you're going to basically need somewhere for those units to mine. If you can get a 4th Nexus up nice and early, it really allows you to maintain the economic advantage. Zealots going ham on those SCVs, picking off 3 of them. The Widow Mine's going off from just a single Zealot. Very good micro by Bisu. And I feel like Flash here needs to get a Viking to get rid of the Prism. You can see Flash does have a Viking, in fact. And I think seeing that, the Prism does get on out of there. Another Viking as well. So it's going to be 2 Vikings versus 2 Colossus. A 3rd Colossus is on the way. 2nd Robo and Dark Shrine. Bisu's playing a big macro style and has Cannon Battery and a 4th base up there. Adepts on the left side going to try and throw their lives away, basically saying, we're not really a useful unit at this stage, but hey, we took out a Widow Mine, and that's more than you can normally expect for leftover units from the early game. Getting 2 Widow Mines, 3 Widow Mines, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's the most you could ever hope for, and baits a stim out of a bunch of the bio as well. But look at this, Flash right now is large and in charge. Zealots going around the far left side of the map. We've got Oracles there as well. I love the passion, by the way, in the Twitch chat live. I'm sure it's happening in the YouTube comments as well, of people arguing over, no, it's this, must be this person, must be that person. Oh, these sort of events live are so much fun to watch people be like, no, there's no way that makes sense. Oh, it's definitely this person. Wait, you're saying it's that person because of this? No way, you said they're bad at this skill, they're good at that skill. It's amazing. I think we all learn more about the habits of different players from the debates that go on in the live chat during an event like this, where we're all trying to guess who these players are. Forge is coming down. It's the 2nd Forge. And Disruptors are coming out as well. 78 probes. This is like the perfect count. I was watching Created play some really solid PvTs the other day, and every game never went past 78 probes. Seems like the perfect kind of late game amount for Protoss. And then if you can just take a 5th Nexus as your natural runs out of minerals, just to keep transferring to, it's really good. Zealot DT is going to run in the right side. 4th base is up for Flash, but Flash is down in supply against what appears to be a superior upgraded army. A few big Widow Mine hits like that will help, though. Ooh, those Widow Mines get focused down. Nice plays by Bisu, but Bisu goes a bit too far ahead with the Zealots, throws a few of those away, and it looks like the Zealot Stalker, or Zealot DT, sorry, on the right side didn't get too much done either. Now, if that Prism can get in the main, guys, the Vikings are all on the front. The Prism could drop DTs in the main and do big damage. There is a Widow Mine right there. I'd like to see the Disruptor take it out, but I don't know, I guess struggling to see it on that tile set for whatever reason. Oh, I like this move, guys. Go for the 4th command center and strike the main and the right side all at once. Oh, Bisu understanding positioning very well. On the other hand, though, look at that. Flash is going to dive down past the watchtower. Bisu going after the SCVs there. Does pull back, realizing, okay, I don't want to lose all these units. But these guys are going to stumble into the Marines. But actually, it's a decent fight for the Zealot DT. And there's a Zealot warp in the main right now as well. Or is it a DT warp in? Looks like it might be DT Zealot. Both of them. Oh, that turret could get focused down quick, fast. Already so many SCVs going down. Flash is on the defensive. Remember, I said this map's really good if you've got the multi-prong going. Well, guess what? It's the Protoss who's got the multi-prong going, not the Terran. Terran needs biomine drops all over the place to keep the Protoss pinned back. Then they can use the size of the map to their advantage. But if you're defending, the Protoss is tooling you. The Protoss is picking away at you, dropping balls on your face. That ain't something anybody likes. You know? Any Aussies watching would know all about the famous Big Brother turkey slap incident. That's essentially the same thing. Now, we don't throw you off the hidden name tournament. We do have a 3-strike system here if you do any very offensive disruptor shots, but we'll see how it goes here. In the top left side, will we get a Planetary Fortress in the top left side? We'll see Colossus Stalker Disruptor down here. Oh, watch out. 2 SCVs do go down. The Bio very clumped up. Good lift on the command center. Has to pull back. Zealot DT going ham on the left side. Bisu's all over this game. Bisu is all over it, but wait. Ow, ow, ow. Good catch. Flash the Beast catches that. But doesn't have enough units on the right to get on the disruptors. Another stim goes down. Is going to try to do it, but oh, the balls are flying. Great dodge from Flash. Flash shot an excellent micro there. And starting to shoot down these Vikings. There's not many supporting units left. Bisu needs to escape. I like the way Bisu uses a disruptor shot and those stalkers to kind of push them away before pulling back. In the top left side with the Zealot DT up there as well. Still on 3 bases is Flash. Still alive is Flash. Still keeping a similar army count. But 3-1 versus 2-2, and guess what? +2 armor, +1 plasma shields is on the way for Protoss. There's still a new Prism that's going to go down and hit that right side where Terran could never afford missile turrets on the side of the main. Now, you might say, well, at this point, wasn't it worth it? I think just leaving a Viking there is the most worth it. You can tell they've got the factory, but they don't even notice it. And the Disruptor's holding them back from fighting on the front. The Zealots in the main one more time. Slice me, baby, one more time. Make me some Terran sushi. Oh! No! Protoss on move command into the army! Protoss! Bisu just move commanded into the army! Bisu had this game won! Bisu had this game won and they right-clicked their army! They didn't even A-move it! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god, Terran was dead! All the chat is shouting it has to be Hustum! You guys are so mean! The captain apparently is what Twitch chat thinks. Oh my god! Disruptor's trying to be rebuilt. What a disaster. Protoss is still way ahead in economy. They could rebuild from here. What in the heck? That base is going to go down as well. Has to hide those probes and reset it. I mean, guys, Flash is in shambles right now. Scan goes down. He's going to get another Nexus. If those probes can escape and rebuild the next site, I mean, I think Bisu's okay, but Bisu should not base trade. Bisu should stay at home, I would imagine. Bisu's going to take the corner base! Bisu's channeling their inner Florencia right now. And actually, I said you shouldn't do this, but Terran was caught moving home on this big map, and Bisu says the only way to win altitude is to be aggressive. Yes, I misclicked my army, but I'm going to come in with more DTs in the main, going to get rid of a command. This is going to go the way of the base trade. But you know what? Bisu, because they've got a corner in the top left base, they already have one. And if they can get rid of two orbitals is the only detection. 2 orbitals plus EMP. How many ghosts we got down here, guys? We only have 4 or 5 EMPs in this army. Not that many. And there's disruptors that they have to fight through. DT warp-ins could be very annoying here. I like the way Bisu's making this tricky to move into the main. Those disruptors need to pull further back, but oh, they get trapped up there. That is unfortunate. Recall is going to recall something in here. Oh, we're going to try and do the Sanger, guys. A couple disruptors to the left, army to the right. I don't know if this is enough army for Protoss to win this fight, even with the ramp helping them out. Zealots are warping into the battle, though. Balls! Balls! Oh, my God! Big boy Balls gets one of the full medevacs as well. Great targeting, but Flash is not ready to give up yet. Flash is going to go down the right side. Nexus is finishing in there, but oh, another 20 workers. This hurts, guys. Flash, a scrappy player, knows how to win in many situations, apparently, but this army's getting hunted down. Bisu with killer instinct. Saves a few probes as well. Guess what? Base in the top left is mining. There's still 66 workers and a few mineral lines mining for Protoss. Bisu managing the chaos. All right, there's one full base for Terran there and a few mineral patches left on the natural. The drop on the right side, guys. Flash is going to have nightmares about warp prisms. I can hear Artosis right now. He's like, what? Yeah, I thought Arbiters were Ember, but what about the Warp Prism? You can literally build units inside their base. This is ridiculous. The Warp Prism flies back in and gets itself killed. The Bio, they're trying to stutter step, needs the Disruptors to cover that retreat. A few Stalkers do go down. Good micro by Flash, does not let these balls land. You gotta be careful though. A few of those balls are left hanging out. Bisu. Oh my god, the spread from Flash is insane, guys. Beautiful hunt. Flash right now says, I've got those balls in my sight, mate. The Zealot Stalker has to turn around and try to force him back a little bit. The ball's coming off cooldown. Bisu is very low on money right now, and the supply advantage is massive for Terran army. Terran down on the worker supply, but that big income hiccup really hurting the Protoss player. Disruptor shot goes out the right side. The Stalker's trying to micro as best they can. There's only one ball ready to throw right now, though. Battery overcharge does go down. Now, these medevacs, there's so many of them. That's like basically endless healing, but there's not actually that much bio there. And all you need is one fight, like one good disruptor shot to turn this fight around. The Zealots don't really die to the Marauders, even with all that healing. This is a very dicey situation. I've got to ask, where are the DTs, though? I feel like DTs trickling in and intercepting the rally has to be effective at this point. Maybe not. There's a few DTs going in from the top left, but that base on the left, if it goes down, is huge. Basically, Bisu needs to defend this base. That goes down. That disruptor just went down. Oh my god, flash. There are 4 disruptors here, but with no Colossus, you'll notice that Flash can out-micro this forever. With that medevac count, I think Flash actually has him cornered. I think Flash has Bisu cornered here. There's just nothing you can do. DT comes in and kills some of these units. A bunch of SCVs going down, but not as important as losing this Nexus potentially. And the Disruptor's getting jumped on. There's not a lot of units there causing damage for the Protoss, and all the Disruptors are empty. Oh, this is such a huge problem for Protoss. Oh my god, Flash making a miraculous comeback in this series, guys. And a truly insane comeback. Of course, it all comes off the back of Bisu with a horrendous misclick. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay, DT's gonna hit the rally there. Good blink away saves one of the DTs. That means this army can just YOLO on in there. Now, there's not many scans available. I think that DT should have tried to defend. There's no scans right now. But Bisu loses faith in the DTs. There was no EMP, no scan. A DT could have been killing these units. Oh, that's unfortunate for Bisu. Bisu's going to go for the command center, the last mining command center, but doesn't have the army to pull it off. And that is very unfortunate because it looks like Flash here able to secure an incredible comeback on altitude. The Protoss' map pick. And if this series does indeed end up going the way of the Terran, I think we know why. One fatal move command of the entire Protoss army into the Terran army, turning this game upside down. Protoss played flawlessly up to that point, but you know what? A mistake as big as that is unforgivable. And man, shout out to the 12 medevacs, guys. For those who don't know, some people undersell, having some good Medicare, some good healthcare. 12 medevacs, more than you have Marauders. That's why this Bio has been able to stim all game long and stutter step and dodge all the disruptors and do all that good stuff. DT is going to try to get on top, but there is, of course, EMPs available now. The Bio is there. Do we EMP it or do we scan it? We'll find out. Looks like scan is good enough. Stalker's going to take out the last orbital. That's the last mobile detection other than the ghosts. There's only one ghost left in there, but of course, Bisu, that corner base they ended up taking 5 minutes ago. Not enough to keep them alive in this game. Yeah, I mean, you should probably only be building ghosts as Flash. As long as you do get ghosts, I don't think you can lose this game. But there's no scans. The DT can be very annoying. There's no scans. There's no EMPs. Oh, no way. No. All right, Ghost is like 8 supply away. I mean, the medevacs can just pick everything up, can't they? Yeah, okay. Flash is like, wait, I can pick you guys up. Stalkers are coming. Now, Flash, does Flash know about this base? Oh, EMP! EMP, blink away. Stalkers, DTs, Zealots, Archons chasing this army down. It's heavily wounded. Oh my god! Bisu might actually still have a chance. The hidden corner base. Having taken out every orbital, there's no scans left. You're kidding me. Bisu's back in the win column. What is going on right now? What is going on? The DTs can start working on these depots, which would be massive. Those DTs need to get to work right now. The medevacs are running over. There's just no army. There's no army for Terran. Most of Terran's army supply advantage was in medevacs, remember? And the corner base from Bisu is actually going to make it happen. DT's starting to go to work in that main base as well. All the production has moved over here. Oh, but look at that. Stalker micro. And the Medevac's trying to pick up. They're going to have to pull behind the planetary. This is the craziest, scrappiest game ever. I love it. Both players playing an absolute pooper scooper. That's what we call a game, guys. Some would call it a shitfest. I call it a pooper scooper. What can I say? Oh, both players are going to be so upset with themselves at the end of this game, guys. They're going to be so upset because this is just one of those games where you know it was like just sloppy and there's infinite room for improvement on both sides. But it was so much fun for the viewers. You know, honestly, the general rule... Actually, he's holding on. He's holding on. The libs are there. The Marines are popping out. The Stalkers... You don't want to lose all those Stalkers, mate. Trying to build pylons to get on supply cap. Bisu should probably take a few more bases, right? And keep working on the depots. Don't pull the DTs away. Kill the depots. If you kill the infrastructure, you win the game. Bisu right now apparently copying the diamond level players in the Florencio files. Says attack the planetary fortress. No, obviously they are taking out the production facilities, which is pretty important. You just got to be careful because you can't really fight in range of the planetary very well. It's going to go in a little bit, but oh, it's a lot of zealots. That is a lot of zealots. Remember, Protoss still has 7 gates intact, which is massive. Being able to repower those gates that got depowered earlier is actually huge. I think there's an argument here that if Bisu lost the production, if Flash stayed there and depowered that, that'd be a different game, right? Oh, the Liberator's barely surviving one volley. Does take out a few of those units, 3 probes and a couple Stalkers, but 900 minerals in the bank, 20 workers versus 21. The DT's still leaving a bunch of depots and armory and stuff up there, but what do you got for production? 3 barracks, 2 starports. You've got 1 ghost for detection other than your turret. This is a really disastrous situation. I guess the DT shrine is dead. New Nexus being built on the left side of the map, but what a fun match this was. Oh, the ghosts. Oh, hot pickup on the ghost with the Reddit point medevac, no less. Flash likes to play Russian roulette, guys. Likes to play the dangerous games. DT's clearing up the depots, though. Flash is now permanently supply blocked. Stalkers blink forward, looking for these pickoffs. The medevac count has been insane all game long. There's still 8 medevacs left. The Zealot Archon Stalker DT trying to pull back to the left side. The Marine Marauder trying to just eke this one out. But, oh, man, they are just outgunned, overwhelmed, and Flash almost makes the impossible comeback off of the back of a big mistake from Bisu. But by golly, at the end of the day, the corner base that goes unscouted through all the madness ends up pulling it out for Bisu. All right, guys, let's go. That was an almost slip up into a loss for Bisu in the bottom left side of Royal Blood. Does end up clinching the win in the end, though. And now Flash in the top right is going to go for the engineering bay again, guys. Back to Babylon. Now this, I think, is a quicker engineering bay. This looks like a more standard timed one. Looks like it's going to get there at about 1:10. And normally... Oh, Bisu sees it. Bisu says, no, naughty Terran. Is it even worth starting the eBay if you get scouted straight away, guys? I feel like in this scenario, it's like not. It's more worth to just scout and then try to block with the SCV a little bit. But I could be wrong on that. I guess if you're planning to go factory before expansion, either way, you're going to have minerals sitting there. So that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. SCV does get chased off. Normally people pull 4 probes immediately when they see an eBay. This Protoss player is greedy. They do start a pylon to make sure they can start the thing. This is actually delaying the Nexus a lot. Really good micro by Flash. Nexus is going to be delayed a good 30 seconds. It's not the end of the world. I mean, you're still only at 500 minerals when it goes down, which is really not too bad. And continuing probe production. Notice there's already 21 probes. A lot of players stop at 20 supplies. So Bisu was just like, I'll just build a few more probes early, build the pylon, then get the Nexus. No worries. Starts chronoing an adept across the map. And as I said, factory before Nexus and a reactor, but also second depot. So that means the command center is delayed till about 2:20. Becomes kind of like a TVT build order, guys. And surely you build command center before Hellions. Surely you build command... You're at 500 minerals. What? Flash... Flash, what is this build, dude? Proxy Starfort. We're doing the fastest possible for Hellion drop. My God, guys, there is commitment. And then there is whatever Flash is doing in this game. There is commitment to your attack. And then there is the speed of this is insane. Here we go. Depth Shade coming forward. It's going to see it. That's a very important scout. Oh, it lets it in. Sees the very late command center as well. It's like, whoa, you just started your command center at like 240, 245. Whoa, man. Second gateway goes down. And yeah, you want to chrono units like mad. No more chrono on pro. It should be chrono units. Chrono stalkers right now. Chrono warp gate. And chrono's blink. Oh, big mistake right now for Bisu. Because Bisu only has 2 gateway units out. And the third one's still a little while away. I mean, you could still defend with 3 gateway units. But no shield battery in the main. There is one on the natural, which will help, of course. 3 Hellions is the number it takes to one-shot probes, for those who don't know. There's a little gap in the vision on that left side. Do we know about it? Does Flash know? Flash doesn't know where the buildings are. So if Flash knows there's a Reaper wall, they might try to drop there, but the Stalker's already moving over to that area. Hellions are going to try to run in. Flash versus Bisu. Let's go! Gonna try to get in. Oh, but the Adepts are nearby. Oh, okay, and there is a shield battery there. The probes kind of trying to wall off, but they don't want to clump up too bad. Oh, nice split on the probes by Bisu. But good shots for Flash nonetheless. Is going to get at least 6 probes. Does save the Hellions and dart back in towards the main. Another Stalker warps in. Oh, got it. Oh, nice. Gets the red hit point Hellion, which means no more one-shotting probes. That one does manage to get the one-tap finish, though. And nice pickup. Pickup into droppy drop, and does save the medevac as a result of that. 8 probes in total. Who's ahead? Who's behind after that, guys? Well, remember, that command center is only just now finishing. So I actually think this is better for Protoss, even though that was decent damage. You might be like, oh, equal units lost. Yeah, but it's equal units lost. But it's workers, which are more valuable the longer the game goes. Oh my god! Bisu has probes on the army accidentally! Bisu! Bisu! Oh no! Bisu, what's going on, mate? Bisu is playing some of the best StarCraft I've ever seen, mixed with some of the silliest mistakes. Bisu is having the best day of their life mixed with the worst day of their life. They're in a noob and they're in a pro are battling for control right now. They're doing some fantastic moves mixed with some really, really silly mistakes. DT Shrine is on the way, by the way, which is cool. I'm gonna go for a bit of blink pressure. It's a pretty light blink pressure, just a few Adepts and Stalkers, nothing too crazy here. And I was gonna try and ferry these units away, seeing that it's a pretty good gateway bio unit count. 3 barracks setup, but yeah, there's actually no detection. And, oh man, does the Spidey sense tingle here for Flash? Flash, if you lose this game, you're out. I think these DTs, I think we might have an anticlimactic finish after winning that last game, guys. Bisu might just win with the DTs. Right now, there is no, he dropped a mule. Flash just dropped a mule, and there's no engineering bay, right? No engineering bay. Engineering bay starts, but the Stalkers distract. The DTs warping in. Flash does not see it. Oh no, the blurry boys starting to move into the base. Oh god, oh god. Oh man, this is not looking good for the Terran player. A siege tank starting to go down, 3 SCVs, 1 siege tank does fall. The Stalkers and the Adepts trying to work their way in there, seeing what damage they can do, picking off Marauders. The DT in the main isn't really doing that much, but this DT is doing some good damage. Gonna take out a refinery, probably the lowest value target there, sets that bad boy on fire and does decide to move for higher value targets. Careful, walks into the scan, Bisu! Oh, the DT survives on 2 hit points. Very lucky there. I mean, this is still very good damage, but it's nowhere near the game-ending damage I thought was going to come down. Damaging and killing a few bio units, but oh my god, Bisu's not watching! Bisu's Stalker's aggroing in! Bisu's on the cusp of victory, but is trying desperately to snatch defeat. The DTs are being very annoying, but I think Bisu may be double backflipping over his own shoulders and dunking on himself. Unfortunately, I feel like Bisu's very excited. The adrenaline is pumping, and I think also a bit tilted after that big throw of the army in the previous game. The DT's going hard, though. Pick off a bunch of those units. The reactor's a very high-value target, and that's going to be pretty effective. Scan's not going to be ready for another 5 or 6 seconds, so he could definitely kill that reactor. Prism is in the backside, and the third Nexus finally starts at 7 minutes. So Protoss is actually way oversaturated for 2 base. DT will get taken out, but it costs a scan. It's not cheap. Terran hasn't even started the 3rd command center and now doesn't have an add-on on the starport. You've really just got to basically survive the push, right? As Protoss here, you just got to get out like a Colossus. Charge makes perfect sense. Adding a few gateways. It still feels like a very favored position for Protoss if they get out 2 Colossus and charge. Terran realizes if Terran pulls the boys right now, I actually am convinced they can at least kill the 3rd, potentially win the game. The question is, will they do that? They've only got 1 medevac. It's going to take forever to heal these units up. DTs could even wear this push down as well. The Zealots in the main. Slow Zealot run by, guys. the army's actually turning around. This was a fake move out trying to scare the Protoss, but the Protoss does a Zealot backstab on one side, a Stalker backstab on the other side, and realizes, oh, you're not actually pushing me, are you? DT cleans up the Marine there. This is a brilliant position to be in for the Protoss player, because now you know, oh, you weren't really committing to that push. You're waiting a little bit. I've got a little bit of time. Goes back in with the Prism to buy more of that time. No, oh my god, the Prism does survive. Saves 2 Zealots on 2 hit points, you greedy boy Protoss player. Oh my lord. The Stalker's trying to pull to the left side. They're trying to get on out of there, seeing what they can do. Oh my lordy McLord. That is a bio army with only a single medevac. They've got a limited time frame to act. Colossus is here, which basically puts an end to this. Flash needs to get out of here and drop a 3rd command center, I think. But actually, Flash's army supply is so much higher if the rest of this army gets here. Am I correct in that? Or am I saying silly doodahs? I don't know, I might be saying silly doodahs, guys. The Zealots will get the tank, but a Stalker and a few Zealots are gonna go down. That ain't free, man. Concussive shells is being made in this game. Wait. I think Protoss needs to backstab. I think Protoss might need to backstab. The medevac count is still very low. 2 more medevacs are boosting across the map, though. Second Colossus is here. Viagra's starting to get upgraded. Give it another 30 seconds. There'll be 3 Colossus with Viagra. That crushes this army, but we're not there yet. There's no Sentry for Guardian Shield either. It's mostly Zealot Colossus, guys. There's no Observer. There's no Observer. Oh, good move with the Stalker, though. Tries to bait that. Look at that. Blinks forward, but the punish. Flash. Did Flash just stim a single Marine to kill that Stalker? Flash just stimmed a single Marine. Holy crap. Goated micro coming out of the Terran player. That Robo in the wall looking very exposed right now. The Stalkers would like to try and bait those Widow Mines, and if they do fire... Oh! I think Flash just changed targets on the Widow Mines to stop them from firing there. Flash looking good, but so is Bisu. 4th Colossus is on the way. Drop coming down that left side. You gotta watch out here. The multi-prong coming in for the Terran player. Flash gonna try and use that mobility advantage. Widow Mines getting in range of those workers, but the army on the left side isn't really able to take advantage of that. The Zealots are not gonna be able to take that down. The Widow Mines got some big juicies. 2 Colossus go to the left on their own. That's a few too many. This Robo's gonna fall. Flash dives in. Flash's army is very wounded, but Flash has been taking some excellent engagements, and guess what? Flash's 3rd command center is almost done. We might get a macro game out of this poop shoot, guys. We may actually get a macro game out of this poop shoot. That is incredible. The Terran was not prepared for the DTs, but they scrambled so goddamn hard to get back to their feet. They did such a good job of staying alive. Oh, Widow Mine drop, Widow Mine drop. Oh, no. Oh, good catch here for Bisu, which helps close the supply gap. Very important for Bisu to do that. Bisu's also got to rebuild that Robo from scratch. He's getting +2 weapons. Looks like a DT got 2 SCVs before getting scanned down. Keep in mind, guys, going up to 5 barracks only now is Flash. Flash is like being really behind on some basic stuff. Hasn't started +1 armor yet. Really wants to do that, but every time Flash selects it, doesn't seem to have the money to do it earlier, at least. I think was trying to upgrade it a bit early. Marine's going to see this attempted 4th base, and it will go down. Goes straight in for the free kill, though. It's like, you sure you want to put that down? That wasn't just 1 Marine. That was 1 Marine scouting for an army. Oh, canceled the last second. Great reaction. Dude, Bisu's got some quick speed, some quick reactions here. DT runs in the right side as well. Trying to take out a few of these SCVs. Come on, Dark Templar. 2 SCVs go down. Very nicely done. Blink DT is upgrading. Disruptors are on the way now as well, but only off a single Robo. So Bisu's like, hey, I've got pretty good tech. But looks like a 4th Nexus tried to go down. Widowmine killed it, and now Bisu's going to take that 4th. Talked about how the 4th base is very important. Remember, guys, that main base already half gone. The natural, it's also mining out. So actually getting a 4th and a 5th base is even more important in a game like this where there's been so much fighting. Terran has the ability to drop mules all on their 3rd, which means they're not as affected by having less bases as a Protoss or a Zerg. Zealot run by snakes around the army, and by surprise catches that 3rd base. Ooh, that is a big army, Bisu. Bisu, I think, is worried about an army coming in on the left, but that is a huge army. He's also worried about those Vikings, of course. May have to give up this 4th base. Good micro by Flash, but Flash is losing control of their 3rd, so it's okay to be 3 base if your Terran player opponent can't really micro off theirs. The Zealots are going to go down, though. You don't want to take too many of these bad fights. That's a good pullback there, yeah. Anytime you can pull your Zealots back when they're ready to fight is pretty good. Disruptor out in the open. Oh, great catch for Flash. Flash, how many medevacs? 5. 5 is not that many medevacs for stimming such a big ball of fire. Remember, guys, on, what was the previous map? Altitude. So on Altitude, because he had 12 medevacs, Flash was able to stim all day, but this time not really the case. And actually, Bisu wants to catch that army on the way home, potentially. Flash sees it, though, grabs the reinforcements and says, no, I'm ready for that. +1 armor's almost here. Second Robo and fourth Nexus now being taken on the left side. There's only 2 Disruptors. And there's 7 Vikings. DTs are going to go down the left side. They got Blink as well. They could do a lot of damage. Those DTs could be a game winner, but this push could also be a game winner for the Terran player on the other hand. So DTs are going to split third base and natural at the same time. Ghost does get tagged onto by a DT. DTs do get EMP'd. Great micro there by Flash. Takes out the Dark Templar. Forces an Archon morph, but DT's in the third doing massive damage, and that is absolutely stunningly huge. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, oh-wee, ooh-wee. DT coming back in on that third base, going to take out the Widowmines. There's no armory in this game. Terran is locked in on 1-1 and a gigantic army that must win the game at all costs. Protoss needs to survive. Can you win at 69 workers versus 29? If the game goes for another 5 minutes, Protoss wins. Protoss needs to survive for that to happen. Terran realizes they've got to push right here, right now. There's a few Disruptors in the mix, though, and with 4 Disruptors out and 3 Colossus and the Defender's advantage, it's going to be hard to break this. A Disruptor gets shot down there. Very nice moves by the Terran. Another Disruptor throws, but from very far back. And I think those Disruptors are shooting from a little bit far away. The 4th Nexus goes down. Bisu may have the economy advantage, and that may look like an unlosable situation, but I'm telling you guys, if the Terran has such a scary army, and there's such a good answer to the Colossus in the form of the Vikings, the only way this turns for Protoss massively in their favor is if they get a few catches on the Vikings. These Stalkers pick off 2 or 3 Vikings for free. It's a game changer. Oh, 2 Ghosts and a Marauder. Good Disruptor shot. Very good Disruptor. Another 2 Marauders and a Ghost. Oh, those were juicies, guys. Big juicies landed for the Protoss player and says, come into my house, please. The Stalker's going to focus down the Vikings. Oh, this is turning really hard in Protoss' favor now. Colossus does start to take big damage. Stalkers take out another Viking. All 3 Colossus are still standing strong, but the Viking count is severely reduced. The Disruptors run a little bit far forward, but oh my lord, 4 Ghosts in 1 Disruptor shot. Bisu is out for vengeance. Bisu playing some scrappy action-packed StarCraft games, but at the end of the day, they managed to win 3-1. Bisu defeats Flash. Whoo, that was a good PvT series. GG, well played. Time for the reveal in just a moment. We've got Flash on call. Flash is about to be revealed, but firstly, we asked Bisu, who do you think Flash is? And Bisu had this to say. I'll read their message. They said, playstyle-wise, I would definitely say Spirit, to be honest. But 400 plus APM can only be Clem. Let's find out if they were right or not, guys. Let's go. We see in the chat, everyone repost your messages right now in the Twitch chat as well. I'll share you who I was sure it was and was trying not to say their name to give it away. I thought Spirit. Most people are saying Spirit. Some are saying Special. Some are saying Marine Lord. Vindicta, Reyna. There's a lot of Reyna guesses, which was pretty funny. I think that's a troll, right? Oliveira, Beyond Benny. Let's find out who it is. Let's go. Hey, and he's on call with us right now. Hey, Clem. GG, well played, mate. That was an action-packed series of games. Thank you for playing as our sub-in for Flash as he couldn't make it today. Thanks, mate. That game on Altitude was crazy. What the hell, dude? I mean, obviously you were way behind. But then Bisu move commanded their army into your army. So almost got a comeback there, but that hidden corner base, hey?
Yeah. That was a really close one. I feel like I probably could have won it if I did a few things differently, but also I probably shouldn't have won it in the first place. And I got like closer than expected, I guess. So
yeah,
that was definitely a very fun game to play.
It's interesting because stylistically, there's like quick third command centers, very safe Cyclone openings, especially early on in the series. Were you trying to give off the image of playing like somebody else?
No, not really. But sometimes I feel like depending on the series, I sometimes play a little different. Like sometimes I play more like a macro play style. Sometimes I try to do like more some all-ins or 2-base all-ins, whatever. I wasn't really trying to make people think I was someone else, but yeah, I just gonna do what came to my mind.
Thanks for playing, mate. Really appreciate it, and really looking forward to seeing you in Pigfest 3.0 next week as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Thank you so much.